All right. And we are live. Hello there. This is your Reverend Dr. Marie Breville, your favorite coach, your fabulous coach. Just here checking to see how's your health in the inside. How you doing? How's your love doing in the inside? I know on the outside we always can mark everything. We could mash it up, cover it up, because I could have actually I don't wear heavy makeup, but I know like with makeup, okay, for example, I could have something a cut on my lips, but although I'm wearing like very light lipstick, um you wouldn't be able to see it if I put it darker, um yeah, a lot of things nowadays, people are able to do. It's like you just cover it up instead of dealing with it. But in covering up eventually, there comes a time it's not gonna work as well. Why is it that I feel like I'm crooked, but anyway, I just gotta get this out of my system. Um, yes. So as I said, um, a lot of times, we can try to cover up things and do the best that we can to just cover it up so people don't see what's going on under it. Sometimes, people have tattoos that they regret getting when they were younger, so they can cover it up either with um makeup, with powder, with foundation and stuff, or they just get it removed, or they can draw something else on top of it, put a tattoo on top of it to fix it and stuff. Sometimes it works and other times it's a disaster. But we're not gonna get into that, okay? So yeah. So this one, I'm trying to think if I even put a title for this, but yeah. So I think I did. So this one I wanted to touch base with you on staying on your level. Okay. You see a lot of times like when you're so nice, you end up entertaining people that you should have let go a while back. You know, um you keep on entertaining them not because they're on your level, they're where you are, but because you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you thought you were supposed to be friends with them forever. And sometimes, or oftentimes, it's not the case. Like, you don't want to be the one to entertain people's mockery. You don't want to, like, you know, how do they say it? Dumb your intelligence or something like that. Dumb up yourself. Some people lower their intelligence, is what I mean. They lower their intelligence so they could fit in. Don't you see like some kids that are like utterly book smart? They know it all. They're like a walking encyclopedia. I mean, talk about like their vernacular is pretty much perfect and more. So, but there comes certain children in their lives. Now they want to hang with them. And so they don't know how to fit in other than dumbing themselves down, so these kids could be thinking like, oh, okay, so you cool too. In the meantime, a lot of these kids too, they're not stupid, they're just as smart. But because of the challenges in the society these days, with children being bullied, children being picked on, and so many other things, and racism, so they felt like they had to team up and come up with something, with some ways of surviving the chaos, or whatever it is that's being challenging in their lives. Sometimes it could be the absence of their parents. or one parent, like boys could be missing their dad and they hanging on the street with other people, hanging by the bodega, hanging by convenience stores, by gas station, and in while doing that ended up making bad company, you know. So um these smart children sometimes, instead of staying in their lane, oftentimes they have to play like they're cool with other kids. So even if instead of like, okay guys, what are you guys going to be up to? Are you going to do homework? Instead they're like, oh, I'm not doing homework, that's like stupid, and they try to like, play it off like that. In the meantime, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're going to fail and you're going to be the one losing. It's not going to be them, like stuff like that. Cuz for example, um you don't see the lion try to come down to the level of a kitty cat. The lion is a cat, but it ain't no kitty cat, you know? So you don't see the lion come down to the level of a pussy cat, and just so they could hang out, just so they could play together. No, the lion would end up swallowing that kitty cat, you know? That's kind of like what you have to think of, you know, when I'm talking about dumbing yourself down or playing yourself or lowering your intelligence, lowering your genius, just so you could be able to be part of a group that is supposedly um, displaying less smartness than you are. Because I don't necessarily, knowing that I have had the experience of working with such a diversity of people, and I've worked with these kids, and they're not dumb. They are the least of individuals that are dumb. But it's just like they have to put on this mask, they have to put on that character, because you know what? Sometimes that's how they keep people away from them. That's how they keep people away from bothering them. That's how they get away with not doing as much, because sometimes, in this society, you get more rewards for not trying too hard sometimes. And I say sometimes, don't come for me. Um, the kids that like work hard and, did what they supposed to do, and they don't it's hard sometimes. They're the one that can't find programs for free, they can't find scholarship, they can't. But the ones that like, okay, if you have, I remember one time when I was going, I was so mad because I kept applying, like in the school where I came from. Um although I did a lot of things, we won a lot of trophies, we won a lot of competitions. Everywhere we went, we were always the winner. We were sometimes the first and the winner. So everywhere we went, we used to always win. And you're wondering what did I used to play, or what sport, what is this? I'm not telling you. But just imagine that we were always winning, and then when it came time to scholarship, nobody has anything. Sometimes they would have like a scholarship of $200. I'm like, that doesn't even cover any classes. But um, but yeah, that's just how it used to be, and I lost my train of thought. So be it. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, you don't dumb down yourself. Hopefully, when I watch it again, I'll remember what I was gonna say. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video. Who knows? But yeah. So it's like, don't entertain. I don't like to say monkeys. I don't like to use that word, but just don't entertain monkeys. If they want, if the monkeys show up, they want a what is it? A banana. Just give it to them. But don't entertain them. Don't play with them. when you have a lot of stuff to go do, when you have tasks, when you have responsibilities, when you have things in your list that you need to go address. Don't sit around and play with monkey, trying to teach monkey how to jump, trying to teach monkey how to do this, try to teach monkey things that monkey already know how to do, you know. So let monkey be. When monkey is ready, monkey will come to you. Monkey will ask you, how did you get where you are, and how can I join you? What do I need to do? Because a lot of times, you dumbing yourself down to meet someone, but the person, why can't they make an effort to reach you where you are? If you were the type of person who always do your homework, you're always on time, you're always like ready to go, you always got everything up to par, but then you're like sticking to someone who is completely the opposite. Not that you can't be friends. Sometimes I've had friends like that, unfortunately. Once we get to school, that's when they wanted to copy on my homework. That's when they like, oh, they just literally wait for me right in front of the school. Once you get off the bus, and there's always like that little hallway you know you get to, and then that entrance, just kind of like an airport. Everybody goes to that entrance, so they would come every morning. Everybody just like stand right there. Like, if I took a day off from school, they would be in trouble. you know they would sit right there and just wait for me. So it's just to say, like, but I just keep giving it to them. Oh, here, you want a copy, whatever. But if I had hung out with the other kids that are at my level, or even better, then maybe they could have told me or taught me something that I didn't know. Maybe they could have give me some extra information that I wasn't aware of, you know? But because I didn't necessarily dumb myself down, but in a way, it is like dumbing myself down, because you were hanging with someone that was not at your level. And don't get this confused with like money, because sometimes, like, when you're explaining these kind of things, people get it mixed up with all kind of things, and then what is the lesson is not really being taught. The lesson is not getting, we're not getting caught on what needs to be getting caught on. But the point is that you don't want to hang out with people where you're the one teaching them all the time. Point blank. You don't want to hang with people where you're the one always translating. That was kind of like me. You're the one, like, um always like reteaching them, retelling them, oh, this is what this is. You don't want to be the one always giving um people a ride. You don't want to be you don't want to be the one always at people's service. Then you never really get the chance to learn something, because you're always so busy serving. I mean, yes, you can just go and volunteer yourself for a while, and you do that service. But you don't want to be like, because when people do that to you, you don't want to be that person. They always like keep taking, taking, taking. They drain you, and eventually you become fed up. And these are sometimes the folks that become um um their heart becomes very hardened. you know they don't want to forgive, they don't want to laugh, they don't want to smile, they don't want to hang out, they don't want to do anything with people, they don't want to you know these are the folks that becomes very hard later on in life, because they realize their life kind of like went in front of them, and they don't even know what they've accomplished. And in reality, it's like, you're so smart, you could have realized so many things, you could have been a doctor, a lawyer, at this, but you were too busy trying to help people who wanted to go to um school for secretary. You were helping people go to school for CNA and HHA and LPN. And I'm not saying these things are bad. Listen to me quite well, because I know sometimes people like to create drama. But what I'm saying is that sometimes when you know you're able to do more, stop holding on to people um that are not going where you're going. It's like if you go into medical school, why are you hanging with folks that are going to engineering, to architect school? So that's mean instead of being on this side of the school, you always on that side because you hang out with the architects. You don't hang out with the medical students. So now there's a test, you have no one to study with. The architects are not going to leave their work to come study medical stuff with you. It just doesn't make sense. So I hope I'm clearer now. So whatever it is that you're doing, find your tribe, you know find your tribe, because when you find your tribe you can learn more. You will have let's say that in school that we not only me but me and my other tribes, let's say that we find our tribes when we went to other competition, maybe we could have learned something extra that could have helped us into gaining better scholarships. Maybe we could have done this, we could have done that, maybe we could have gone to different scholarships where you get cash money or whatever it is. I'm just saying, when you hang out with your tribe, you become more knowledgeable. You become, I don't want to say more smart, but somewhat more smart, because now you're going to know the rules of the game. You're going to know how it gets played. So I hope you got what I'm saying. I hope it sinks in. Like I said, don't entertain um others that are not willing to come up to your level. It's all good. Okay, one day you went to the beach and you went down to their level, y'all laugh and drink and go crazy. But then what about the other days? Can they come up to your level? Can they be willing, to go to the library, to go to a museum, to go to, Smithsonian library, to museum, all that stuff. It's just like, can they come up to your level to be willing to do something different instead of you all the time going down to their level and accomplish nothing? All right. So I hope you get me. The intention was for you to get me. You know, remind your friends that keep pulling you down, that some days they got to come up to your level. They got to read a couple of books too. They got to try to do better with their lives, because it's good for them at the end of the day. You're not talking about them breaking themselves, breaking their head, and excuse me. Oh, that yawning came out of nowhere. Mm. um yeah, so you don't want to be the one all the time to be pulled down, eventually you're just gonna stay down. um you're just gonna lose your wings, you're just gonna lose your ability to fly, you're just gonna stay down instead of flying high. So it's just not your um it's not you, it's not who you are. So be willing to show yourself when you're hanging with your friends and when you're hanging with anybody. Be willing to show yourself when you're at work. you know how many people, like, sometimes they're at work, they don't drink, and they're doing the, I forgot what it's called because I don't really do. Oh, what is it called again? Whatever. Like, there's always on Fridays they like to hang out. Happy. Oh my God. Now you know I'm a really loner. What isn't, I can't remember. But whatever. So, the person doesn't drink, and then they don't even like the people at their jobs, yet they still hang out every Friday. They have to pay extra for a babysitter to watch their kids so they can go hang out with people they don't even like. Not even the people that can get them a promotion or, a raise. They're hanging out with the people, like I said, that are not higher than you. They the same level or lower than you, and most likely lower than you because they're doing the stuff that you don't do. They might be doing drugs, and I'm talking about bad stuff that can hurt your body. They might be, have bad habits of smoking. They might be heavy drinkers. They might be the type that do all their one night stands with strangers, putting their life at risk, putting their body and themselves at risk, their soul, their spirit at risk by allowing different energy to enter their body without even knowing the energy. So that's kind of like what I mean. You know who you are. You know when when you're in your own environment. You know when you're around people that mean well to you. You know when you're around people that want you to grow, that want to keep you up, you know? So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by others who's pulling you down and making you believe that it's the best for you. So, anyhow, this is not my 15, but this is my 21 minutes. So, I wish you well. Until next time, mwah, and I will not let 22 catch me. Take care.